David was a very disciplined boy. He had excellent grades in school, his teachers and classmates loved him, and no one ever had a complaint about him. He was a good friend, student, and son, and he helped around the house despite being a blind child. Every morning David woke up early to help his mother Lucia prepare breakfast for himself and his little sister Maria. His mother had been widowed a year earlier. Life had become a bit difficult. Even though they had a nanny to help and the children behaved well, she, as a mother, suffered deeply from David's blindness. 1 year ago, his father passed away. David suddenly began to see more and more blurry. Doctors didn't know what was wrong. There was nothing physically visible in the eye exams to explain what was happening to the boy. After extensive general physical exams, the doctors concluded that he was probably experiencing post-traumatic shock due to the unexpected death of his father. He hadn't just lost his parent, he'd lost his best friend. They used to have deep conversations about life, seen through a child's eyes, which his father knew how to turn into true metaphysical stories. He always reminded David that there is great truth in what we cannot see, and that if we want to know who we really are, what we need to do is close our eyes and focus our minds inward. David learned to meditate since he barely took his first steps. He used to tell his father wonderful stories. On one occasion, he told him about a little puppy named Light, who came to him during meditation and told him that his eyes would always see the truth. What would David think now that his eyes couldn't see? How would he perceive the truth his talking puppy once spoke of? Was he still in contact with his inner world? He never told his mother about the things he saw during meditation. The memory of the metaphysical conversations vanished with the loss of his father. Lucia made an appointment with a children's psychologist. It was important, not just for his physical health, but for his mental well-being. They visited 2 mental health specialists, but David rejected both. One day, a friend of hers mentioned a psychologist who not only did regressions, but had also become famous for his channeling work. He was a young man with a more open approach to modern science. It was magical. David connected with him instantly. After one consultation, they scheduled weekly visits. At first, once a week for a month, until David asked if they could meet more often. Lucia saw this as very positive, and together with the doctor they agreed to meet twice a week. David began to understand his physical blindness and started communicating with Ruben, his psychologist, in the same way he used to with his father. He opened up to his mother Lucia and told her that the doctor reminded him of his dad, that he had the same essence. David resumed his meditation practices, and Light, his talking puppy, appeared in them once again. Even though he always maintained a positive attitude, David's joy had slightly diminished. He would cooperate as needed, but it was never the same with Maria, and he never told her the stories of Light. One day, Ruben invited the whole family into the circle. After that, one night, David had a dream. His father appeared, smiling, radiant. "Do a group meditation," he said, "with Ruben, your mother, and Maria." And so they gathered, in silence, in breath, in light. David's voice rose gently as if spoken from the stars, saying, "In my heart, my mind, and my inner sight, I see my father and I see Light, the puppy. She is saying, I've always been with you." Now she returned to remind me to never close the door to the light. Slowly, David opened his eyes, and while breathing deeply and with his hands trembling, he said, "I can see. Never turn away from the light. Everything in your life depends on it. You will not see me again. I have to continue my path. I love you,